Fix the narrator. Officially the longest elevator sequence in ever. What do you think, Ashi? Is this the longest elevator sequence you've ever seen? Hey? Hey, darling. You've got the best cat ears in the world, haven't you? You've got the best cat ears in the world. Great, not really, like, because I'd look dumb as fuck with cat ears on a human, but you know, still. I might... Jesus! How long did that... What? It doesn't take you anywhere! What the fuck is that? I could have been there for like ages thinking it was doing something. It doesn't do anything, you just go into the elevator and get a bit of elevator music and that's it. Wait a minute, this isn't the green room. Wait a minute, did I want the green room? No, I didn't. At least you can see the panda picture this way as well. This was going via maintenance, I remember.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
As if it knows you've been through there loads of times now. Just like, yeah. You know that we know, you know the combination, so let's just fucking skip it. Like I say, apologies guys, this just might not do
Stanley
anything.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Worth a try. The last thing I can possibly think of. I'm sure there's probably other branches and other endings, but I cannot think of them.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
You've turned the machine on. And once you've done it once, it's locked out, so I better get this right.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
I always like the nuke ending
Stanley,
though. Good shit.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand,
Except for the
there's
countdown.
only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do,
yeah.
for
Well,
example,
yeah.
and I believe you'll find this pertinent. Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
It was worth a try. Well, it was worth a try.
I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them.
Well, this is different.
I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Did it? Was it?
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I'm sure it's different than last time.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
That's the same, I think.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment
if there is a way out, I didn't figure it.
I say, happily ever after.
At least he had some different dialogue for the end there, though. I'm sure he didn't say how many times you're going to replay it over, you know, 1, 10, 100, you know. It does seem like, surely there's a way that you can escape that nuke ending, but you get that door open again or something, I don't know, stop the countdown. Who knows? Who knows? But that's all the ending, I mean, from playing it there, that's all the endings that I can possibly fathom, like going down one path and going, oh well, maybe I could go this way next time, or maybe I could go this way next time. And I just cannot think of any more. going in the left door, doing that stuff. Going in the right door, doing that stuff. Going on the cargo lift. Unplugging the phone, not unplugging the phone. Going to right, getting the space ending. There was another ending to the right when you go through the door like once. I've had a baby ending, a confusion ending. Oh, I've had the good ending, the nuke ending. I've gone down the escape to the female narrator ending. I'm sure there must be more endings than that. Sure there must be, but I cannot figure them out. I mean, how many more can there possibly be? Unless it's like proper like secret shit, you know? Like, press this door and then this door and then this door will open. It's like, you just would not know that unless you'd read it. I mean, obviously somebody has to find it out to begin with, like, but you know, I don't think I'm gonna find it out. Oh, you could load games. I thought that was kind of like a fuck you, like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. I thought that was some kind of fuck you, like, nah, you're not gonna. What was that one? Almost like, you're not supposed to say, oh, shit in fucking Christ. Didn't expect that. As if I saved mid-air? What's this? I saved mid-air and nearly crap my pants. What kind of save was that? Why did I save there? I should have sit right at the beginning with that door in, man. The amount of times I went here. Oh no. Wait, but I thought for a second I think it just kill you every time.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite
door. Could never
door
think how to get to
track.
the vent or anything like that. If you could get to the vent, I never figured out how to do it. I think once you leave the employee lounge, it locks you out, doesn't it? Sure, I can't use those step ladders. Nope. And you can't jump. What's that? Ah, nothing. Let's say it's a bit janky how you've got to go back to the main menu to load. But then again, there's not a massive need to load, is there? A lot of times it restarts and you think, well, if it's a restart, it could be a complete restart, or it might be like a second or a third or a fourth restart, which is changing the story up slightly. Yeah, it does close that door behind you. It does indeed. But I certainly got more endings out of that than what I did in the Half-Life 2 mod version, definitely. Well, for some unknown reason, guys, my ending ramble was screwed up and lost, but it doesn't matter. It kind of does, but it doesn't, because this has been recorded later on from when I was just recording, you know? And you know. This is later on in the day from when I was playing earlier on. So, obviously I thought I'd done, job done, no worries. So I went and, as I said I would do, I went and looked up, like, the endings, you know, see if there was any more. And there is quite a few more. Apparently there's 18 endings. And it seems like I've gotten about 10, 11 or something like that. And I saw some of the other endings. So I'm going to show you them, why not? There's a couple more. It's only going to be a couple more, but I'll show you a couple more. I don't even know how to get to this one exactly, but it doesn't look very hard to get to.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Isn't that weird? How you can get up onto that like that. You just got to kind of run at the desk in the chair. It's weird to get up there though. It's like, there you go. You just got to kind of like brute force your way and eventually get up. And then if you crouch, it puts you over here. This is the window ending. Isn't it grand?
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
The game knows itself,
Clearly,
doesn't it?
this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one?
I've got to come back here,
Imagine
though.
if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Is that what it's going to do? It's just going to leave you here? Can move anywhere else? Nope. Nope. Backs to the wall. Let's give him like, I don't know, 10 seconds, see if he says anything else. No, yeah, I guess he did make it quite clear. Begin the game again. So like I say, it was a bit of a shame that I lost my ending ramble, but it's alright to be honest, because like I say...
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
always say that on
Perhaps he had
computers.
simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think there's something to do with the computers as well, but you need to know where all the computers are. I think there's like 5 computers or something like that, and you can activate them all, and that gives you an ending as well, but I just don't know where they are. I don't think I'm going to be able to find them in time. That's a sneaky one, is this one, though, isn't it? Like, I'm sure some people would have fucked about and tried to find it. Like, if I'd have been just playing and not recording, I might have tried something myself, but getting on that chair is not, like, immediate. So that's a funky one, is that?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
But yeah, like I said, not
He
too
then
bad. Lost
praised
me
the
ending
game for
ramble,
its
but at least I get to
insightful
show you a
and witty
few more
commentary
different
into
endings.
the nature of video game
Bit more
structure
narration.
and its examination of
At least I know how
structural
many
narrative
endings there is, or at
tropes.
least at this
So,
point, how
now
many
that
have been
you're here,
discovered.
What do you think?
18
Isn't this
of them.
a fun
18.
and unique place to be?
I did alright.
Why don't we
For me,
take
few
a
hours
minute
that I
just
played,
to
I got
drink
like
it all in?
12? Maybe
Okay,
maybe
I'm
13
over
or
it
something
now.
like that.
What
That's
do you
not too
think?
bad,
Are you
I
sick of this
think.
gag yet?
I don't think that's too bad.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
As if we get a sling on this
The
one.
truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, You too will become quite unbearable.
Yes.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Is it just gonna do that instrumental now? And I didn't actually remember we were saying like there must be a way of escaping the nuke ending. Not from what I've seen out of the 18 ends. Doesn't seem like either nobody's figured it out, or there isn't a way of doing it, one or the other. Is this it? Let's wait for it to end and see if it loops. That does seem like it's just gonna loop, right? If I actually... Do I need to begin the game again? Quit to menu. Do you have a save anywhere? And that might do it. I believe there's a broom closet. I'm not sure if that's an actual ending or not, but
through the maintenance section,
I saw something about a broom closet. I remember where that is.
Back on track.
Shit, I ran past it enough.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What? I tried opening that before. You must have to go through maintenance. You must have to go through maintenance to open it.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nope. No, he didn't. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Go through maintenance and the broom closet is now open.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Sweet FA. Actually, it's correct, there is nothing to interact with.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Actually, I'm not sure if you can get an ending out of this or not. Unless
you do
it's
realize
just
there's
extra
no
dialogue.
choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
He likes drugs and hookers as well.
With drug money.
Yeah,
also,
there you
Stanley
go.
is addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's when narrator starts to get a bit pissed off at you. That's from the original Half-Life 2 mod, isn't it?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Nope. Is this actually an ending, or was it just like a long extra branch and you can't do anything more with it? 'Cause surely it's just going to go back to the regular game now, isn't it? Yeah? No? Yeah? No? Does that count as... That's not really an ending though, is it? That's just an extra thing. You could get that anytime you go through the maintenance. 3, 2, 1. Let's leave.
Ah, second player.
Ah.
Good to have you on board.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah, damn. Has it just gone back into a regular thing now? Was I supposed to go back into the broom cupboard or not? I'm not sure.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Things the same now, innit? I don't know, maybe it said something different, but maybe you can find another branch somewhere to go and wait. Like I said, I didn't really read through the endings or not. I was curious at the windowsill ending or whatever like that. Looked at that one.
Deeper into the building, Stanley
skimmed over the rest of the list, and there's a few. I think there's a suicide ending or something like that. That's not the insanity ending where you go crazy.
To question the nature of his job.
But other than that,
why did he feel this now?
I was like, oh, that seems like a cool ending.
It never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
Saw the list of the other endings. Went to get it in my footage. It's like, nope, your ramble is fucked. It's like, really?
Control facility.
Oh well, no worries.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Although at least this time, I can set the scene for the ending ramble.
Now the monitors
This'll do.
jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, like I say, watch the windowsill, window ledge, whatever, fucking ending and stuff like that. I thought, yeah, that's a cool one. That's a cool one. And I didn't really watch any of the rest yet. Like I say, it was only earlier on today when I played it, so I've not really had time to like watch through every single ending. Plus, I'll do it myself at some point. I mean, like, it seems like I've done like that. That must have been like 12 or 13 of the endings, something like that, out of 18, maybe. Like you say, you guys will have a better count of how many I've done exactly, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad. What a great game, though. Really, 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 like, well crafted and witty, as it said itself, witty and insightful. Very funny. Very entertaining, very funny. There's only a handful of games that come out each year that are genuinely unique as well, so shit like this is very, very welcome. There is one slight thing about this, though. That's I mean, I'll be putting a spoiler warning on the beginning of the game. I mean, it's one of the very few games, in my opinion at least anyway, one of the few games where I honestly think it's better if you've played it yourself and then you watch other people playing it, just to see what they do and what order they take it and what they think about it and stuff. It really is one of those games that it is better, if you're gonna play it, best play it yourself before you watch a video. Now this is kind of late, that's why I'm saying I'm going to put a spoiler warning right at the beginning and explain that, but a bit late now, innit? You know, I'd say that right at the end, but I want to know that, exactly. But, I mean, a lot of people say that you could have got the gist from the original Half-Life 2 mod, that it's one of those games best experienced and then watched somebody else doing it, but very, very, very fun and very good.